I'm here with Van of Nite. These guys are touring across the East Coast and they're playing a show in Toronto, of all places. I'm super excited because I don't think you guys come to Toronto a lot, being from the West Coast. Is this your first time in Toronto?
This is our first time in Canada, in Toronto, and on the eastern part of the US and the America anyway. So yeah, that's our first time outside our usual route, which is West Coast to Houston and back, pretty much.
And you guys arrived in Toronto in perhaps the hottest day of the year. Almost 40 degrees. This is unheard of. So these guys brought the California weather with them. So welcome to Toronto. Welcome to Canada. When you guys decided to book this East Coast tour, did you have any expectations coming in on what you wanted this tour to be for you?
Well, we knew that many people were asking for this. Like we were getting harassed in the best way possible from people like asking us to finally come over here. The stars aligned, then we got to tour with our friends in Savage Master that we've been meaning to tour with for a while. I've never played here. I'm from Europe, so I grew up in Europe. I grew up in Greece. I lived in Germany for a long time, and in England. So I've never actually played shows here. So this was my first time playing shows in New York and Boston and all those places. So I didn't have any idea, but the rest of the guys have toured extensively over here, so they knew the venues and they knew what to expect. That said, we've been growing as a band, and the third album has been doing really well for us. And there's definitely a new level of appreciation that we see out here, and it's great, and we are very happy about that.
So I guess the next tour is going to be to Brazil because you get a lot of comments, come to Brazil. I'm sure you do.
No. We've been invited to South America a couple of times. Things happened. Like I think we were invited right before COVID, I think, or something like that. Anyway, we owe them a visit, and yeah, I like to say to my friends from South America that Greeks, Mediterraneans, and all that are very similar. So I think at least me and the people that I have met from South America click instantly. So we are the same kind of type of heavy metal people. So I think it's gonna be great for Nite to be there.
I honestly, I get that vibe. I'm Portuguese, so I totally get that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned, you guys have a new record. You're obviously touring in support of that new record. How much of, considering you guys never tour in this part of the world, how much of the new record makes up your set list, and how much of your discography makes up your set list?
Most of the set list is the new record. It's like 4 songs from the new record, like 3 from the second one, 2 from the first one, something like that. We have staples in the set list that we cannot drop easily. We had to drop some of them, but we have songs that really work great live, and it will be tough to replace them with new ones. We're really happy with the set list. Like that's what we do when we start working on a new album. We're kind of course, we're exploring our imaginations and whatnot, but we're also looking for songs that are going to make our live show better and more diverse and give us more tools to craft a better live show. So that's why we brought these new songs, because we think they showcase a different side of us that really works well live.
I think you guys also showcase a different side of you with every record that you release. I get that vibe that you're not necessarily looking at recreating what the previous album was. You're always just kind of looking forward and putting something different, still connected, but something different. So when you guys went into making this new record, did you know perhaps more than what you wanted? Did you know what you didn't want this record to sound like or to be like?
Look, it's a process that takes place over a couple of years and through many different songs. So we do produce and record a lot of songs, and just the songs speak for themselves. So if we hate them, we don't use them. If we like them, there's a reason why. You know what I mean? So if we write a song that's exactly like The Way or like Acheron or something like that, we're not going to be interested because we have a song like that exactly. That said. In that niche of heavy metal we play, there are certain tropes, like there are certain things that work well for us. So triplet gallop works well for us. Like we know that we've done songs like Genesis, The Way, Acheron, Last Blade. So there are similarities between the songs, but each version of that brings something new, if it makes sense.
How was the recording process for you for this album? Did you guys approach it differently? Did you guys take the same approach? Does changing the approach change the outcome?
Definitely. I mean, the biggest change on this album is that we toured pretty much, because we started this band. We started right before the
Welcome to Toronto.
right before the pandemic, and we released our first album like the week of when COVID started, and then we released the second album like around the time COVID ended, pretty much. So this was the first album we got to play live before we actually recorded. This we had already toured, and we saw songs from the previous albums that we didn't expect to work well live, like Trident. We didn't really think much of Trident. I mean, we liked the song, but we put it last on the album, right? So it was a great closure, but we never really thought that it's gonna work that great live. And people that have never seen us before, chant and like raise their fists. So stuff like that. So seeing what it's like, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, changed this album a lot. And this is way closer than to what we actually sound like live than the previous two albums.
When you think about the band, because you mentioned something I think it's really interesting. You mentioned this niche of heavy metal that we play. You guys really have a very specific heavy metal sound that it's almost like a subcategory within heavy metal in my mind. And I really like the way you guys create your own atmospheres, both musically and vocally. How much are you now becoming that live band that you envision versus just being the studio band that you guys kind of started at because of the pandemic, obviously?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. We are playing this kind of metal because that's the kind of metal we like. That's it. We're not really trying to manufacture that. This is exactly what we like. That's what comes out of us. You know what I mean? When we play music. Bullet point 2 is that for me this is heavy metal. This is personally, that's what I think heavy metal is right now. That's my personal opinion. It's not the same opinion with Ghost that the guy from Ghost has. It's not the same opinion that the guys from
Iron Maiden or whatever.
No, Iron Maiden can have.
They can have any opinion.
Yes, and they have the correct opinion always. But what I'm trying to say is that we don't set out to do a niche heavy metal. Band, an album like this is heavy metal for us. Like 2025, that's what heavy metal sounds like to us. So this music was kind of created to be honest with you, for bigger venues. That was always the concept. I used to work as a guitar tech, stage tech, whatever, and I've been to the bigger venues. I've played into many festivals with other bands that I was in, and this band for me was kind of like everything that I learned all these years. I'm trying to make something with it, so that's why we don't have a lot of double bass drum, because you will never hear it in a big venue. Like slow kick drum patterns like sound amazing in like big venues. So the end game for us is the bigger venues. We are growing. We're playing bigger venues. More people come. We did a headline tour last year. I don't remember. Like the last tour we did before this one. I think it was before the holidays. It was our first headline tour, which went great. But we're trying to get the show bigger. Like we need to get that was always our plan, and we're working hard to make that happen.
So when you guys writing a new album, are you just writing thinking of the live performance, or are you thinking of the live performance and the growth within that live performance at the same time?
Both. For us, there is this thing that we talk about behind closed doors, that this is a theatrical performance. This needs to get to the point of that being a theatrical performance. And as I like to say, there's this gravity of the metal underground, which I love, and I'm really appreciative to be part of that scene, right? But there's this gravity, like small clubs, right? We cannot even have anything more than 2 guitar players and a bass player and a drummer cramped on a little stage. Sometimes, some days we are on bigger stages, but we have to be able to play venues like that. So there are limitations, and there are preconceptions of what a heavy metal band, a touring heavy metal band of our size can actually do and don't. And we want to do more that we need to work on anyway.
But do you feel like there will be a trade-off? Because when you go big, there's also then a little bit more of a disconnect with the fans. Because on a venue like this, the performance that you guys do really interacts with the fan base who's listening to it. Because you're right there. It's almost like we're part of the show as well. When you move into a bigger venue, you lose a little bit of that. Is that a concern at all?
Concern, no, but of course, the more when we play bigger shows, it's a different beast anyway. We will always be able to do a smaller show. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about that.
You're not worried about that, at least not yet.
No, not yet. Yeah.
Not yet. You guys still have a bunch of shows left, not many, but because you guys are getting to the tail end of this tour. So once this tour is over and you take this California weather with you, what's next for Nite?
Well, there are a few things, but I cannot really tell you anything right now because it's not confirmed.
But you're gonna hit the road.
We're hoping to go to a few places that we've never been before. That's kind of the theme with this album cycle. I think we're gonna come back to our usual routes early next year. But we have a few people from Germany that are pretty much gonna kill us if we don't go there. So we have to go this time around because it's been our fan base is basically Germany, Sweden, Norway. These are the people we see the numbers basically, and we know that, and that's not by accident. That's the music. That's where I grew up, and that's the music that actually me and Scott, the other guitar player, are really into, like European heavy metal. So it's no accident that people from those regions are really our strongest fan base.
I can see. I mean, I travel to Europe quite a bit, and I see that. I see the difference between the metal fan in Europe in terms of what they're looking for in a band, and I also see the difference then when you come to North America in terms of what the fans here are looking for. There's a little bit more of an acquired taste there. Like, people know there's a bigger fan base too there. Metal is way more, I'm not going to say mainstream, but it's more popular there than it is here. So that also allows for that to happen. There's also more venues and all of that kind of stuff. So wishing you guys nothing but the best in your Germany travels, or whatever it is that you're going to travel.
I haven't announced anything yet, so...
Whatever they're going to go. Yeah. Whatever they're going to go, I wish you guys nothing but the best. Maybe Brazil. Like, them being here just proves that if you ask, it will happen. So we don't know when, but it will happen eventually. We'll get there. So thank you very much for your time. Once again, all the best in your future travels and for your future touring. Congratulations on the new record. I'm looking forward to listening to some new material today, some old material, because for me, everything is going to be new.
Right.
Because it's my first time seeing you guys live, so I'm really excited about it. You cannot miss these opportunities, because I feel like you guys are probably not going to be around coming back to Toronto anytime soon, at least. So you gotta enjoy it while we can, and while we can is today.
That's right. Yeah, we will be back. I'm sure we will be back, but I don't know when. So yeah.
Hopefully not in the winter, because you're not gonna get this weather.
No, we're not gonna come in the winter.
Don't make that mistake of coming to Toronto in December or February or something like that. It's not pleasant.
Okay.
It's not pleasant. So let me just tell you right off. Save yourself for like May, June, July. That's when you're safe.
Got it.
Thank you very much for your time. All the best, and I'll see you on stage.
You got it. Thank you.